Welcome to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, with your host Zaki Baruti. And like always, I want to give a shout out to my biological family, what's happening to the Universal African Peoples Organization family, what's going on. And to New Life Evangelistic Center family headed by Reverend Rice, keep up the great work. And a shout out to our amazing cameraman Bob. On that note, we're going to have a great show because in studio with me for a second time, and we're going to be calling it part 2, is the young, lovely, dynamic personality of Felice McClendon, who represents Delmar Mainstreet. Welcome again.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks
then.
for having me.
Felice, again, when I had you on the first show, just in case some people did not see the first show, I always like for my guests to give a little background information about themselves. So share with our audience anything you want people to know about Felice.
Yeah, well, Felice McClendon, I came to the area, went to Mizzou for journalism. So
University of Missouri.
University of Missouri in Columbia for journalism, one of the best journalism schools in the country. But
so you have a degree in journalism?
I do, I do. But that just means, hey, I'm capturing people's story. I love to make sure that those that need a microphone have an amplified opportunity to have a seat at the table, and really just addressing the disparities that keep our communities separate. So very attracted in this season to the work on Delmar, because you had mentioned before the program just about the Delmar divide. I am so very honored that I get to engage what I like to and invite people to come. Unity. It's an invitation. Come.
So just for our people, when we talk about the Delmar divide, what are we talking about?
Well, I think it was maybe back in 2012 or so, but the BBC did a documentary, and they
British Broadcasting Corporation.
Yeah. But they did a documentary, and it's bad when people outside your community got to tell you how bad your stuff is. But they did the research and found out right along Delmar, where we are on 63112, that there is both a 33 age gap, age expectancy gap, meaning we gonna go before people that don't look like us are gonna go, by 33 years, and also lifespan gap.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's 23, and then it's a 30,000 income gap.
Right.
I said that opposite. Yeah. So there's an income gap of about 30,000 and an age gap of 23 years.
In terms of when you divide the city, North St. Louis,
north side of the street and the south side of the street. We're
street.
Literally talking about same street across the street. So proximity to wealth is not the same thing as having wealth. So just because I can see the Central West End and that you're in $1 million home and my home is valued for something different just because it's on the north side of the street. I mean, that's it is what it is, but we're literally talking about walking distance across the street.
So now, what is the main purpose of Delmar Mainstreet?
Well, small businesses are the front door to community, and so there really isn't a vibrant or thriving community if there aren't small businesses somewhere in the immediate area. So I am there along that 3.5 linear mile stretch that includes 8 neighborhoods, 250
And what
businesses.
is that linear mile as a reminder to the audience?
It's from Eastgate, from the city limits all the way to Taylor. And I like to let people know and call out that the city limit is not at Skinker, but it's about 1,000 square feet into the East Loop.
Eastgate, which many people associate with U City.
With U City, but that's the city.
But that's the city.
That's
Eastgate on down, and your project is from Eastgate to Taylor.
Yeah.
And your job is trying to stimulate
economic development. So the Main Street model, and again, the Main Street, there's 2,000 main streets across the country. We are one of 3 here in St. Louis dedicated to revitalization. But that model, no matter where you go in the country, DC, Atlanta, Baltimore, you name a city, a lot of cities use the Main Street model. But 4 things, a table stands on 4 legs. Design, because it's historic preservation. Let's fix these facades, make things look like they should look. not decay and blight, right? Design, organization, all things organizational development, promotion. We promote the things that our businesses are doing, so that brings in additional traffic. And then economic vitality is really the bottom line.
And rehashing again from the prior program, some concrete examples of you stimulating different businesses come into existence. First of all, you've been in existence since 2021, is that correct?
Since 2021, yes.
Okay, and how many businesses through your efforts would you say have been created through the work that Delmar Mainstreet has conducted?
Well, you notice I started off talking about that we are a community, meaning that that district is made up of 4 quarters that make one whole. So the East Loop Sid is the first quarter. I'm housed in the Delmar Divine building, very intentionally called Delmar Divine.
Which is a Black-owned facility.
No, actually, it was Black-inspired. Maxine Clark, the founder of Build-A-Bear and Clark Family Fox Foundation, she's actually on our board as well. But she, some community.
Oh, Delmar Divine.
Delmar Divine,
okay,
yeah,
I got
Delmar
that
Divine.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So yeah, but it was some people in the neighborhood who said, "Hey, why don't you do something with this old hospital?" And she did.
Right.
She poured $100 million into that project. There's some other revitalization happening into the neighborhood. There's another $30 million being put into the ground right now as we speak. So that's another project to be looking out for.
Now that's a major project.
That's major. That's huge.
But for small businesses.
But for small businesses.
And hold that thought, because
yeah.
we got to take our first break.
Maybe on the journey of life, you feel like you're just overwhelmed. You feel like you're stumbling over one thing or another. You're about to go over the cliff of life. Everything seems so hopeless at this moment. I want to encourage you to get into God's Word. Faith cometh by hearing, hearing by the Word of God. Look around you at the wonders of all that God has created. Let faith come into your heart. Experience His joy, His peace, His power. And as you do that, get your eyes off your problems and look at somebody else that's in need out there. There's so many homeless people at this time. You see them everywhere. So many hurting people. I'd invite you to join us on Friday mornings in front of City Hall at 6:45 to 8:15 and just reach out and be a part of how we're helping the people there. We're get them food, water, transportation assistance, clothing, just hygiene items, a wide range of support. But you take your eyes off your problems, you see somebody else. And it does a whole lot, because a lot of times you go into prayer and you're just focused on the problem, and the problem gets bigger and bigger. Our prayer involves taking our eyes off ourselves, looking to God, the author and creator of all, and spelling out the word acts. First engage in adoration, then the C is confession. Yes, and then what do you do after that? Well, you engage in thanksgiving. And then the S, supplication, you go on and ask Him. There's a whole lot in God's Word that will give us direction on that struggle as we go through life. You can also get more if you want to go to LarryRiceMinistries.org. There's a lot there at that site. And we offer you many opportunities here at the New Life Evangelistic Center to go out among the hurting and homeless. You can do that. You can work at our headquarters at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. There's so many different opportunities. And if you want further information, call us at 314-421-3020, but go to nlecstl.org. Let's do something right now. This world is hurting. You and I can make a big difference for good.
God loves a cheerful giver. Even though things are really tough right now, you can make a difference in the lives of so many. New Life has been doing this work for 50 years, and we have seen God's gracious goodness through people like you who have participated in this work. There are so many people who are suffering. More people are becoming homeless for the first time with the rising costs of inflation and food and housing and so many other commodities. We need help. You can make a difference today in the lives of so many by giving your tax-deductible gift to P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. Or go to newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. Or call to get involved in this incredible work.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is Felice McClendon with Delmar Mainstreet, and we just re-emphasizing part two of the work that they're doing along Delmar Avenue in terms of stimulating small businesses to be established and grow.
Yes.
So what are some of those examples?
So yeah, in as I was going through the 4 quarters that make up one whole, second quarter is where Delmar Divine is. So that takes you from De Bolivar all the way up to Union. Third quarter is the Maker District. So Delmar Maker District is from Union to Kings Highway. There were 12 new restaurants in just that area alone prior to the tornado, right? So lots more work to do. Some people have had the opportunity to reopen, but again, recovery is a process and a team sport. So so much work to do. And then on the furthest east, you have the Elevation District, which is headed by Kevin Bryant. He's under construction now on his project, and so we are also honored to be in community with Kevin as he's on the other side of Kings Highway, where you have 100 Black Men, Launch Code, some of those other businesses.
Yeah, Kevin is a great entrepreneur. Shout out to him.
Shout out.
Now, in part one of our discussion, you made mention, I was asking about, do your organization help financially small independent businesses?
Yeah.
You do? And how do you help? Financially.
It's a real takes one to know one. I mean, we are a 501c3 organization and a startup, if you will. We're a startup helping other startups. So we understand all of the pain points and are resourcing those things. So initially my role was funded through ARPA funding, and that was what the city put some investment towards just kicking it off. It's up to the people on the ground to keep it going. You best believe it. And so, especially in the season where we are, where things in the federal space are different. It's an unprecedented season as far as writing grants and that sort of thing. So it's really about creating public-private partnerships of people who understand this community that has 37, just shy of 37,000 people, these neighborhoods, these businesses. This is really the pulse that will help keep St. Louis in business. We have stories. If we look at other cities, like what happened to Detroit in the earlier 2000s, of course, Detroit is on the upswing now and is a great place to go and visit, but they had some times where it was really rough for a while. So, we look at best practice all over the country to say, now, what can we do to make sure we have a thriving, economically viable community?
Well, as an extension of that, and then we'll move on. So as a nonprofit, do you provide many grants or anything of that nature to existing or potential new businesses?
Yeah, we do a lot of technical assistance. We are often writing grants in community with our neighbors and partners. We've got a lot of institutional partners in the space, whether you're talking about Metro, WashU, again, we're in the building with Delmar Divine, a lot of amazing organizations in that space, People's Health Center. I mean, just so many community partners. So frequently, we might be collaborating for what is called collective impact, and that means coming together to go after investment. That is one thing. Another thing is just the technical assistance so that you can be empowered to do what you need to do. Do you need financial advisory assistance? Do you need many grants? Let me, share these grants with you and be a resource so you know the resources that are accessible and available to you. We also have been post-tornado giving out $5,000 mini grants for the small businesses impacted in our area. There is a link on our website for those who were immediately impacted in our footprint that you can apply and get that $5,000 mini grant because people need to buy new equipment. They have insurance deductibles and things like that to meet. So we're not asking questions about how you're going to spend it. We just know people have been hit and we need to support that. So we, through a lot of generous, we did an event where we raised about $50,000, and we continue to match on that funding source so that we just can replenish the pool to support people who need recovery support.
So on that note, because I want to transition to a whole nother topic.
Okay.
Is there any other point that you'd like to point out in terms of the work of Delmar Mainstreet?
Only, you know, as we're spinning off of, literally spinning off from the tornado, I like to tell people recovery is a team sport. It takes everybody, and there's all different kinds of ways you can volunteer. So whether it's volunteering your time, your talent, or your investment, you know, we all have work to do. And no matter where you live, none of us are well unless we all are well.
I know that's right. Getting ready to transition, but before I transition, and I'll do it a second time, if anybody wanted to get in contact with you, you know, to be along that corridor, or even outside of the corridor of Delmar, how would they get in contact with you?
Yes, we are at Delmar Mainstreet, STL.com. And definitely go check out our website, or you can call our office line is 314-399-6133. Again, that's 314-399-6133. And, you know, be patient. We are a small but mighty team, and we will make sure to get back and learn how you want to engage with us. But we are here external facing for the community.
Okay, I appreciate that. Now, transitioning, and we won't get into that on the other side of the break, want to talk about some of your international travels.
Oh, boy.
Okay, then. So we're going to take a quick break.
Since 1972, New Life Evangelistic Center has been on the front lines, reaching out, helping the hurting, the homeless, the fatherless, the widowed throughout mid-America. Yes, although it's had its roots in St. Louis, it now has expanded throughout mid-America into India and Africa, Haiti, and other places around the world. Oh, what a history New Life Evangelistic Center has. And we have many of these history books available to you, and they're right there on Amazon. And if we can help you get one of those, you contact us at 314-421-3020. But in addition to all that, we want to share a lot of that history with you right here as we take a look at how the work began and how the Lord has taken us throughout the years and the miracles that we have seen, all because of caring people like you. You're part of the history of the New Life Evangelistic Center. And we're believing that 2025 is the year that the center is going to become alive and seeing the Lord do exceedingly beyond we can even ask or think. We're on the verge of miracles. Yes, New Life Evangelistic Center has a rich history, but there's much more yet to come. And that's why I'm inviting you to familiarize yourself with the history of the past and be a part of the miracles of the present. Yes, let the Lord God Almighty work in you and through you. Let Him do exceedingly beyond what you can ask or think. He's got a purpose for you. And we want you to be able to live out that purpose as you get directly involved in the history of New Life Evangelistic Center and what the Lord is doing now.
When you partner with New Life Evangelistic Center, you impact so many people. The economy in this country is really hurting so many all over. And we're seeing the number of people who are experiencing homelessness rise. You can make a difference today by giving your gift online at newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. Make a real big change in the lives of so many.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is Felice McClendon, who's with Delmar Mainstreet, and we've been talking about that project in part one as well as half of part two. But I'll be remiss because I want to get into a subject that is just so dear to me, and that's international travel.
Take me with you. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going?
We're going across the globe.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
Now, Alpha Era, we have talked in terms of some of your experiences.
Yeah.
You have done some international travel, right?
Yeah.
And
we're not
travel
going to
is
talk about all of it. We'll talk about some of it.
Some of it. Okay, then. As I was sharing with you and share with the audience, I've been blessed to be on at least 38 countries, 37 I believe, okay? And have had some fascinating experiences. Just most recently got back from Barbados, early part of this month, as well as in Ghana in April. In fact, on the front cover of our most recent newspaper, we began a chapter of our international chapter of our organization on the very front page of our newspaper, where I'm meeting with some people. I hope that we can have that on the screen. There it is, from the desk of Universal African Peoples Organization, UAPO President General Zaki Baruti, and you'll see I'm meeting with both some business and political leaders, as well as several young men that said that they're going to create a chapter. And by the way, I used the title President General in deference to the great Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, who organized millions of people to help uplift the race.
Back to Africa.
Yes. So with that said, share with the public, how many countries have you been to?
Oh man, we counting stamps. Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
I mean, I very rarely even share this number, Zaki. You know that, because it's a lot of times it sounds kind of crazy. Like, why would you do that? But it's in the 20s.
In the 20s?
Yeah,
Oh. Now, why is it important for folks to travel? I mean, from your perspective, why would you encourage people to?
I think a lot of times people feel like it's unachievable, or it just seems so outlandish, like maybe that's just not where their interests are. But it's so life-changing when you see how other people are living, and then you come back home different. There's any place I've ever been, every time I come home, you know, with a little bit more depth of character, because I had a chance to communicate with somebody, even regardless of if we spoke the same language or not. It's something to be said for when you can make a human connection with someone across the globe and really walk away and you both gain something, you know. I will say, when I used to be a missionary,
you were a missionary?
With the church, I would go, well...
What church was that?
Well, it wasn't my church. I went with a team of doctors. It was a medical missions team, but they were faith-based. And we would go to Guatemala or Nicaragua. But what I noticed, and this was the most fascinating thing, and we're hot and sweaty and working in this tent all day, you know, doing the medical examinations. And I'm not even a doctor. I was manning the glasses, the table, giving out readers. But when I take a break, the kids, they'd be out there playing soccer.
Right.
What we call soccer, the rest of the world calls football, right? So that's the whole World Cup and football. We're just now starting to get into it. But these kids, when I tell you they're playing soccer, not with a ball, it was water bottles crushed up and with duct tape wrapped around it, and the water bottles had rocks in it to give it a certain weighting. Okay. It wasn't even a real ball, and these kids didn't even have shoes. They had this made-up ball made with water bottles and duct tape. Best game of my life. I was rooting for the kids. They weren't even my kids. Because you could see joy in their eyes. And I said, oh my God, I want the kid over there with no shoes to come over here or I want a kid over here with one pair of shoes to meet the kid over there with no shoes at all, and see how that little boy gets to school, and see how he values his education, and see how you overcome struggles that, we got poor, but that kind of struggle where, like, when the electricity goes off on the side of the mountain, it's just lights out for everybody. Like, that's a different kind of poverty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
But to see what that looks like and to navigate life, it is a life, you come back grateful. I don't have any complaints, I love traveling and seeing the world.
Well, my next question for you is your top 3 places that you have visited. Would you share that? But you need to share it on the other side of the break.
Okay. Oh, that's a tough one.
Behind me is the New Life Evangelistic Center administrative offices in Overland, Missouri. And this is where we shoot our shows for our worship shows and the Here's Help Network. And it's also where Zaki Baruti and Bernie Hayes shoot their shows. You can find all of these shows at the New Life Evangelistic Center app, the NLEC TV app. You can also access them on your tablet or on your computer. And this is how you can stay up to date with all the things that New Life Evangelistic Center is doing. There are so many different programs that we've got going on, and God is doing many exciting things through partners like you. So if you want to support the work that New Life is doing, then please access and give through the app. You can go online at nlecstl.org or give us a call at 314-421-3020. Again, 314-421-3020. But this is the best way to get plugged into the amazing work that New Life is doing through people like you. And so there is something for you to get involved in today. And we are so thankful for our partners. Only through the grace of God and your gift are we able to bless others today.
And I'd like to look at what the Bible has to say about our calling to help the poor. Blessed is he who considers the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive, and he will be blessed on the earth.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. I want to have a couple more minutes with Miss Felice McClendon with Delmar Mainstreet. And we had transitioned our conversation to international travels. And on the other side of the break, I was asking your top 3 destinations that you have visited.
Okay. I think I love Rio. Rio is amazing.
Rio de Janeiro?
Rio de Janeiro.
Brazil.
Brazil,
right?
right?
You didn't put me in your
I mean, right.
All right.
But we'll go back. We'll go back. Food's good. People beautiful. Everything's beautiful. Like, most beautiful place on the earth. You living in a postcard, basically. So there's that. And the food is good. The food and the music, that always is going to guide the decision. Okay. I must say, I do appreciate those seasons when I was a missionary. My kids got older. I couldn't keep doing that, but I enjoy that tremendously.
Okay, we got Rio. I just want to make sure I get them all in.
Rio, and then I'd say, it's so hard. I've already told you. I think I might be Jamaican. I don't know.
Okay,
if I was to do my Alex Haley, I might be Jamaican.
Oh, Yaman.
Yaman.
Oh, yeah.
Rastafari.
Rastafari. Yeah. Okay, that's 2.
That's 2.
And what's be your third one?
I think, it's always good to go someplace you wouldn't think you would want to go, but you might need to go. You don't know what you would know. I've been to some Asian countries. I've got, through the military, I've got some family members that people picked up, brought back in. Hey, I think it is outstanding. I've learned so much, whether that's going to Thailand, Japan,
Thailand.
Whatever, Korea.
So, you didn't, what is the third one? Come on, I'm trying to.
You want me to pick one?
Yes.
Okay, Japan.
Japan, okay. So you were in Tokyo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay then. Now, wow, that's, I got, okay then. Why, I know the question, forgive me, I had one of those moments.
That's okay, I have them too.
So, what about Africa? Have you ever been?
I have been to Africa once, but I gotta go back. Because I was so far north. I went to Morocco. And so, it's very...
Yeah, my daughter was in Morocco.
Ah, nice. See,
right.
You got to stay in a riad. If you ever go to Morocco, you got to stay in a riad. But, a lot of times I don't talk about it too much because I want to always be fully present with whoever I'm with, just grassroots on the ground. But, hey, if you interested, I'll help. Let's figure out how to get you there because the points, you can get points. One time I went to Paris for $84.
Wow.
On points.
I needed to know you at that time. I've been in Paris also, but
you don't have to have a lot of money. You got to just figure, if you can put it in your backpack, and you got to travel light. Travel light.
So I'll be talking with you off air.
Okay, let's figure it out. Where are we going?
On that note, I thank you for spending time with Sending the Chair with Zaki Baruti. So may God continue to bless you. Keep doing the work that you're doing. And to the audience, like always, I encourage everybody when it's time to vote, go out and vote, but know the issues, but also need to belong to an organization that has a history of uplifting our people, we say join the Universal African Peoples Organization. On that note, may God bless each and every one of you.